Well, hello, everyone. Good morning. This is Jeff Hooks. I want to welcome you to our Victory Nutrition International Quick Start Training for this Saturday, October 6th, 2018. This is the first Zoom Quick Start Training of the month of October. And folks, we are off to a great start. Still in the first week of October, and the company's growing. We've already had some rake advancements the first week in October, and the question is, what's happening in your business? And the intent of this call is to make sure that what's happening in your business is the same thing that's happening across the company, and that is we want you to grow. And the purpose of this event that we do live every single Saturday is to equip and empower you and your team to grow. And so I want to kind of spend have a little bit different conversation for some of our leaders and emerging leaders that are listening to the event live or replay. We're getting a tremendous spike in replay traffic over the last 3 weeks for our Zoom events. That's indicative of you as leaders teaching and training your team the value of this content. You know, a tool is only as effective as our use of that tool. A hammer that sits in the closet is not going to build anything. A Zoom presentation with amazing content, sharing the attributes and the benefits of our products and our business model that's not shared with anybody is not going to do anything. A quick start training that's designed to teach proven fundamentals of how to grow the V&I business, if no one watches it, is not going to do anything. And when I say no one watches, if no one watches it on your team. So my encouragement as we kick off today's event is use this content. Think about, leadership is both science and art. Science is what we do. Art is how we do it. And there's an art to leveraging the resources and the tools, and some of the content that's going to be shared by our two featured leaders and speakers today is going to touch into that very topic. And so I'm just so excited. Again, I hope you've got a pen and paper ready, or as I always share, a digital device for some of you that are fully into the century of the digital economy. I still tend to be a little bit old school. I still sometimes lean on paper and a pen, but however, whatever, if you even a napkin, I encourage you, I will say this, I do encourage you to have a VNI, what I call a VNI success journal. And that's what this is. I date it at the very beginning, and then I fill it up, and then I file it. And so every idea, meetings, trainings, notes that I take from leaders that are speaking as we learn from each other, I put it in my success journal. And that way I'm not chasing Post-its and napkins and little loose sheets of paper where I've taken notes. I've got one place that I have that keeps me organized. And for most of our V&I family, who at least initially are building this business and expanding our mission on a part-time basis, that organization sometimes comes in very, 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 handy, if you will. So think about this. The purpose of let me ask you this, how many new people that joined your team this past week? Just a question. Draw a box on your notes, and that box is not to be used as a club if you didn't have the kind of week you wanted, but just work with me on this. Draw a square on your notes, sip of water. And then how many new people, and it could be you personally sponsored or joined your team in the last 6 days, the first 6 days of this month, and we're not even full 6 days. Now, is that consistent with your goal for the month of October? Okay, so in other words, did you get off to a good start? And if you did, let's keep the pedal down. That's what we're going to build on, that momentum that you and your team have already created this month. But if you're not on track, it is early in the month, team. That's the exciting thing about it. There's plenty of time to make adjustments, and that's what this call is about. We're going to talk about the key fundamentals, not just what we do, but also mindset, the mindset and the attitude that you bring to your V&I business, to your goals and your dreams every day, as we embrace this mission of helping people become beacons of health, hope, and abundance. That's what this is about. So the quick start training, this that we do again live, how do you leverage that? Okay, first and foremost, it's designed to help the brand new partners on your team. It's designed to help them get off to a fast start. Okay, to get off to a good start. What should they focus on, and what shouldn't they focus on to get profitable, to get out of the gate, to start sharing these amazing products with people and blessing the world and getting their business off the ground. Okay, so it's designed for that, but it's also, as you remember, for those of you that are leaders and emerging leaders that have been plugged in for a number of weeks, every single Saturday we cover fundamentals. I always tell people that the fundamentals might not be exciting, but the results they create are exciting. By implementing those fundamentals, putting them into action within your own business and teaching and training your team to do the same thing. That's how the results are very exciting. Top leaders in VNI don't do extraordinary things. They do the basics, the fundamentals extraordinarily well and consistently. So we're going to always cover fundamentals, and we're always going to cover some leadership and leadership development content. You're going to see that sprinkled through the content that our two featured speakers are talking about today. So it's not just, it's designed for the brand new people that join your team, but it's also designed for your existing team to plug in and get nourished. It's a tough world out there. If they had a good week, then plug in and build on that. If you had a challenging week within your own VNI goals and business, then come in and get fed, get nourished, get filled back up, and let's go back out on the world in the world and spill some VNI all over everybody in a good way, spreading the mission. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, here's a question for you. When you sponsor a brand new partner that joins your team, are you responsible for their success? Ultimately, are you responsible as to whether or not they succeed in their goals with Victory Nutrition International? Rhetorical question. And if you want to jot it down, we'll play a little game, jot it down, VNI Jeopardy, write it down. And so one more time, I'm with intent, I'm going to repeat the question. When you sponsor a new partner, not a wonderful customer that just wants to enjoy the products, okay, that's awesome. But I'm talking about somebody that wants to create a cash flow. That could be part-time, could be full-time, could be small goals, pay off some credit card debt, could be big goals, create a full-time global business with us, or anything in between. Are you responsible ultimately for their success? And I want to share something with you. The answer is no. You're not responsible for their success. In fact, from a leadership standpoint, one of the biggest challenges you'll ever have in this business is wanting it more for your people than they want it for themselves. Sometimes that happens, not always, but it happens. So here's what you are responsible for, and this is important, and this is why I'm bringing it up within the context of our quick start training. You are responsible for doing a few things. Number one, you're responsible for setting them up for success. Let me give you the macro, the big picture. You're responsible for setting them up for success and giving them a track to run on. But you can't do it for them. You can do it with them, but you can't do it for them. They're responsible for their business. Each one of you, each one of your people is responsible for their own business. Now, that doesn't mean when they're brand new, they need to get through the learning curve. You got to support them. So what does that mean, setting them up for success and giving them a track to run on? Okay, it means several things. Number one, you want to help them decide with clarity, and that might be over a little process over time. You want to help them decide with clarity what they want out of their VNI business. That's number one. Number two, you want to plug them into some fundamental training. Plug them into some training, some basic fundamental training. Now, here's a hint. That's what this is. That's what this is. Our quick start training. We do it live every Saturday, and it's recorded and available 24/7. Plus, your upline success coaches have their own training content. So this is designed to supplement and support. So think about this. You're building this business part-time. Let's say in the last 6 days, the beginning of October, you have brought in your entire business. Let's say there's 10 partners have joined your business, 10 representatives that want to build a business. You're part-time. How do you train 10? Well, there's two things you do. You plug them into this live event. You leverage the replays of the quick start as well if they can't make it live. and you lean on your success coach, your upline. That's how you do it. It's a team sport. And we have a system that's designed to give you the support, the tools to help people accelerate through that learning curve. Okay, so it's a system where you're in business for yourself and you're responsible, but you've got resources and tools. You're not in business by yourself, and you're going to lean on those tools and lean on the system. So again, what's your responsibility when you bring a new partner to your team? So this is leadership and fundamentals. We're kind of hitting it from a couple angles here. Okay, you're responsible for setting them up for success and giving them a track to run on. Okay, how do you do that? Number one, help them decide what they want. Number two, plug them into some training, including this quick start training. Number three, lead them into action. Okay, and our leaders are going to be speaking on some of that today for sure. The fundamentals, help them get into the idea of, I call it sharing and caring. With a smile on your face and love in your heart, invite people to learn about VNI, share some information and follow up. Invite, share, follow up. And your upline team, your success team, they have a proven methodology of how to do that. Okay, invite, share, follow up. So number one, help them decide what they want. I'm being repetitive on purpose. Number two, plug them into some basic training. Number three, lead them into action. Lead them into action, which includes leading them into the quick start training as well, by the way. It's all connected. And number four, be there to work with them as they work. They take a step, you take a step. They take two steps, you take two. They work to 10 o'clock at night, you work to 10:01. I always say, you tell people, listen, I can't carry you. I can't carry one person, but I can run with 1,000. So I'm going to match your energy. That's what I used to do when I was in the field as a leader. I would say, listen, I'm going to match your energy. Okay, how the level of your desire I'm going to mirror that in terms of my support. I can't do it for you, but I'm going to do it with you. And if you're committed and you're taking action, I am right there with you every step of the way. If you're not committed, that's okay. You're going to be blessed by these products. If you want to take small baby steps, take it at your own pace, that's okay. But as leaders, we have to spend time with the people that really want to grow. Okay, and everybody's family, we love everybody, but you've got to be, as a leader, you got to be selective with who you pour into on an individual basis. You let the group events like this Zoom training, like the Thursday night presentations, like the monthly calls, you let the group events in our system feed the masses of your team. Everybody's everybody's valued, everybody's important, but then you spend individual time with the people that are really wanting it. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so that sets the stage, folks. Real quick, two more things. These are tips that we share every single Saturday. Tips to grow your business. Number one, stay plugged in, just like you're doing today. Stay plugged into the call. Stay plugged into the event. Stay plugged into your upline team. Stay plugged into the back office, the news section in your back office. Are you aware that in the calendar section of your back office, now we're going to work on some formatting of this to make it a little bit more visible. There's a lot of cool stuff we're working on with the back office. Trust me, that's phase 2. We just released phase 1. But when you go to the calendar section of your back office, if you scroll down below the calendar, all of our recorded events are there. Every one of them. From newest to oldest, top down. Just a little heads up. And we're doing, so the marketing team's working with, we got some really great things we're working on. So stay plugged in, just like you're doing today. Stay plugged in. Number 2, do something positive every day to build and grow your business. Do something positive every day. Now that's plugging into this event. Sometimes I'll tell you, our attendance overall has been increasing, but you want to make sure you're leading by example. One of the keys to this business is you will duplicate yourself whether you intend to or not. So make sure you're walking the talk. Well done is better than well said. That's one of the keys to leadership. Do what you want your people to do. So if you want your team to plug in and have guests at the Thursday night Zoom and have their new people plugged into the Saturday, then that's what you're doing. And that's what you're here today. That's perfect. And then of course you leverage the replay. If you've got a family commitment or something else, that's why we have these recorded. But lead by example. Make sure your team sees you staying plugged in and doing something positive every day. Okay? And Mr. Dwight Halstead, take it away. So everybody knows Dwight. Dwight is a director leading a fast-growing organization, or just getting ready. And I mean, his organization's exploding. And so, Mr. Halstead, take it away. You've got some great content we're excited to share.
Well, welcome everybody to the call. Again, for those of you that may be on this for the first time or watching recording, my name is Dwight Halstead, and I've been with VNI since about February, and here because of the great opportunity and the product line. And so with that, I want to kind of share a few things that I've been learning. Now, part of my trainings when I get started with these things, they're sometimes based on what I've been hearing when I've been working with people. So let me bring up and hit my share screen real quick. All right, look at guys, a few things. Number one, success leaves clues. I mean, this is my daily journal that I keep going and keep notes of what's going on a day-to-day basis. And, I want to kind of do a few different things here. I'm going to kind of come over and talk about our new website. I am very much a tool guy, and I like to teach people how to use tools. And VNI's new website is critical, I think, to learn the value of this. I want to just go through this real quickly, but everybody should do their due diligence and learn how to maneuver this site. When you first go back in, you go VNI, .life, / your username or ID number. When people go to this site, there's some invaluable things here. Number one, it brings up the proteasome. And for those of you who are new, the proteasome is really the hook or the thing that makes us entirely different than anything's out there. This is the key that is allowing the nutrients and for us to get the benefits from the products. And this is the first thing that's highlighted. The other thing is that this also will give people a chance to take a look at the product. So don't hesitate to bring people to this. Now, here's the one key element that I think is absolutely critical is when people come to your site, there's going to be a capture page that comes up on this. It's going to ask to fill out a form so they can get a different information. When you send somebody to this site, let them know that is going to pop up and tell them that it's okay to fill out the form so they can get additional information so we can keep them informed about the meetings and trainings and other things that we have, because that is going to be the key to getting more information to them. And what's important with this is people will do what you ask them to do. So when you're talking with people, because remember, there's three basic principles to building this business. Number one is you've got to be a product of the product. You have to be somebody who's on the products and getting benefits and can share your own individual stories. The second thing is if you're going to build, this is all about sharing. This is all about sharing not only product, maybe having product on hand to hand to somebody, but also being able to share with them information. And this site right here is your tool. And the next thing is sharing the trainings and the meetings that we have, and then it's getting commitments. First, you've got to be committed into your business. The second thing is when you are sharing this information, as you are finding out what people's needs and wants are, and you can share with them on how this is going to help them grow, they make the commitment to you. And commitments start in small fashions. We are talking about this training is all about how to build business partners. And one of the things that's important about building business partners is you want people to make a commitment to you, and you do it in small forms. And that first commitment is taking a look at what you're doing and filling that form out. That is one of the key elements to find out if you have the person that is going to be somebody you want to work with and grow. And it's all about us getting our 3 to get 3, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. The other thing that I want to share real quickly is that when you go to this site, you come over to your partner site, and this is where they're going to learn about the business opportunity. And again, if somebody says, hey, I want to know more about how to become a business partner, here's a great place to send people, because here they can sit down and when they click, they can join now, number one. And remember, everybody can join. It costs absolutely nothing to enroll. And one of the things that's good, if you can sit down, and this works really good on a cell phone. So if you bring this up and sit down and talk to somebody on the cell phone, you can share with them some partner stories here, and then ask them, hey, let's go ahead and get you enrolled as a partner today so you can get a 20% discount. And then let's talk about what to do next after you get started. See, it's a small commitment going to a larger commitment. So and you can do it right here. They don't have to buy anything. They don't have to do anything. And that's the beauty of our company. And one thing that Bill Downs wanted to make sure is he didn't want people coming in like a lot of companies out there where they got to buy massive amount of products in the warehouse, and then they also got to and then they have to buy, you know, all kinds of tools and websites and everything else. There's no charge for all this stuff. And it's, like Jeff has alluded to, is it's actually getting better. Now, one other point on this, then I'm going to move on further to business building, is when you go to the news, take a look what's back here. Here's the business overview, the kickoff calls, everything you need right here is under the news. Learn what's back here and how to use it. Here's the builder pack. And then you've got all the calls, all the tools, everything you need to share with people. So if somebody wants to have some information, you can find it back here. And I would highly encourage you, if you can't get somebody to the Thursday night calls at 9 o'clock, that's why we have this back here. And when you click on this, what you're going to see is are the calls right here, the business overview. So they just click on this and they can go ahead and start watching it. So really go back here and learn this. This is a great tool to be using, and it has all the information that you want. So, you know, go ahead and just learn how to use this back office, and it's huge. Now, the next thing I want to talk about business building, you know, most of you here, especially those of you who are new and watching this first time, what I want to kind of get you is to learn what the importance of building is, and to understand this is a simple business. And this is as simple as 3 who gets 3. Now, in talking over the week, and I was talking to some of my reps, and some of them are, you know, just getting started, and they're getting out there, and they're trying to, you know, they've got the enthusiasm and the excitement, but they're finding it a little slow getting people's attention to move forward. And I thought of something as a video that I saw that kind of make a lot of sense. Maybe some of you have seen this before. This is at a concert. And I want you to take a notice here. Here's a guy that's out dancing. This is the leader. This is actually Bill Downs. You know, pictures of Bill. He's out there. He's excited. We've got the products and got everything else. People are kind of looking at him saying, hey, you know, this is a nut out here. We don't know what's going on. And maybe this is you. You're out there and you're excited and you're feeling around. But here's the point of the 3 to 3. As you keep talking, that excitement, you finally attract that first person, and you communicate. You're talking with that person. You're moving with them, and now there's 2 of you. You know, but people still saying, "Hey, look at those 2 crazy guys out there." You know, they're just kind of moving along, but they're doing it. They're abandoned. They're out there. They're excited. They're moving through. Look at that lady kind of looking at them and saying, "Hey, those guys are nuts." But as they go ahead and start, you get their 1. You're going to see here in a few minutes the second person comes in. And as that second person comes in, see, now it's not just 1. And of course, you know, the leader greets. This is the second follower that's coming in here. Now we've got 2 guys down here. And here's the magic. You know, 3 gets 3. This is what I love about this video. As you start to see here, there's going to be a 3rd person that's going to join in. And then look at, all of a sudden, there's a movement taking place. Watch the volumes of people that are coming in, one after another after another. See, the first came in, the second came in, and then the third. Look at the momentum grow here. This is one person that's in this movement, and it's just growing and moving forward. Now, look at the volumes coming in. I personally have experienced this. I brought in my first couple. We got a few. You know, we're out there, we're excited, we're talking, and they're out there sharing and getting excited. Then all of a sudden, the masses start moving in. And, you know, you don't need to be a leader. We have the tools here for you to use. That's what this call is all about. And watch what's going on here. See, the basis of a company is being followers, finding the leaders to go up to. This is why when I talk to people and stress that it's so important to reach up to your upline. It's so important to reach to us. We're right here helping you build, but watch the growth here in the movement of this. All of a sudden, this is a huge movement, and it takes on a life of its own, and it all becomes because of followers. Follow the systems that we have. Follow the systems we're laying out. Follow what we are doing out there in the field. And, you know, it really gets to be exciting when you start to see this kind of growth. And it all took place from the one lone guy that's out there. Now, a lot of us, and quite a few people in my group, because we're a young company, sometimes you're the only one in the area and you're out there. But just understand, keep the enthusiasm, keep the faith, keep doing what you're doing, and the people will follow you. So a couple different things here. And again, when you go back into your back office, you can go see the opportunity. Is take a look and learn a little bit about the comp plan, but understand something here. This comp plan is key. And as you start developing your plan, and I recommend that everybody sit down and outline a plan. We'll talk a little bit further here, but outline the plan of where you want to go and take things in step. Know where your long-term goal is, but remember, this is all done step at a time. You know, this is how do you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Don't worry about the thousands of dollars that can be made at the end, even though that's where the dream and the hope is. But really focus in on the first steps. And the first steps are real simple. Is you want to get some income to help cover yourself. That's what the first order bonus is all about, the 30%. The next thing is to learn about the rank advancements and how that will help you cover the front end as you're building, and then as you build, as the unit level starts to build underneath it, that's the back end, that's the growth. So learn about the rank advancement bonuses and the matching bonuses when you hit rank. And then the next thing is obviously the advantage to helping other partners come in. See, why we as leaders kind of want to reach out and help and bring people up, and why it's so important. I know I get excited when I see people who advance in rank. I get excited when I see people who are hitting these bonuses and getting money into their pockets. And it's really cool. But when that all happens, I know one thing. As I'm helping my leaders grow, as I'm helping develop my new business partners, that not only am I gaining value in my unit level, but I'm also gaining, on my personal enrollments, I'm also getting a 10% check match. So that's the back end. So just kind of get back there and learn. Now, this is all about the power of three. And it's simple, it's straightforward, and we've all seen these numbers before in the scale that goes out, but it really is just this simple. You are looking for your three business partners. You're looking for three people to work with you. Now, you're going to be sharing products. There are going to be customers out there. There are going to be people who want to be on the product. There are not necessarily going to be people who want to build a business right now. And that's okay. As people get on the products, as we share, and as more people get on it, as they keep getting results and benefits and they share, maybe that little spark will hit and they're going, maybe I want to look at this. And you keep reminding people, find your three, and when those three, you help them get their three, then all of a sudden the numbers start to grow. And if you take a look at the growth factor here, it's three who get your three, who get three. You can see it, it exponentially grows, and the numbers go up accordingly. So focus in on that. Now, we're talking about setting goals. Here's why it's important. And when you help somebody hit manager, when they hit the manager level, there's an advancement there at 250. So let's just I'll use myself as an example because I followed this right to the T. When I became my first week, I became a manager, and I brought in people and I got my retail bonus on that, which was quite a few $100s. But more importantly, I padded my income there with 250. The other thing is I also got a 10% match. So even though it wasn't huge, I think my unit level in that first month was around, I don't know, it was like $30, $40, but they matched it the first month. So I had 60. So when I came in, I said, I got to hit manager. How do I do that? Well, I went out and I called 50 friends, and I had 15 people come to a meeting that I put together. Out of those 15, I had 8 that came in, and I had 3 that went to work. Well, as soon as I hit that, and my 3, I helped those get to manager. I hit executive manager. So then I helped my manager get their 250, and the next thing you know, I became executive manager. Did that my very first month. So bing, bing, all of a sudden I got another $500, and I got another match bonus. Again, it wasn't huge, but when I hit the executive manager, I think my unit level was like an extra $100 at that point. It gave me another $100 to match on that, so it doubled. Plus, I locked in the $500 bonus. So I started getting money on the front end here that made it well worth my time to focus in on this. Then when I hit director, things started changing. all of a sudden, that first month bonus, my director bonus was almost matching bonus was almost 1,000. Plus, I got the other 750. Think about this. Here's the step. So, I came in as executive, as a manager, moved to executive manager, moved to director. Now I'm focused in on the executive director, and that's where I headed yet. And it's real simple. So when the three who get three, as you start to understand and look at this program, just understand as you're helping your team build, these progressions just take place by themselves. And then as you start to go in here, obviously you want to find a fourth and a fifth person to come into it, but they will come naturally. And as you start growing in the unit level, as the volume starts growing down here, you can see the percentage. And I'm telling you, the one thing that we have in this company is called dynamic compression. Now, I know that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but it will when you start getting into this system. Because what happens as levels start getting compressed, as people move in and out to the system, and levels start moving down, you're going to see consistency in your dollar volume coming in, which I've never seen in any other company that I've been with. And I've built some large companies. I've had downlines that have gone 100 deep, but I have not seen necessarily that volume necessarily move all the way up. And here with our company, the volume's there. So make a note, sit down, go back into your webpage, take a look and learn what it takes to become a manager, and then focus in on that. And then help your three, and that will help you move to executive manager. Take those three, and that makes you into the director. Then take those, and it's a progression, and you'll learn as you go, and don't hesitate to reach up. One of the things that help, and I'll give Michael Sleddy, and I also will give Gina and Ed Bender help, is I didn't do this necessarily all by myself. I mean, I had the drive and I had the desire, but I reached up. Michael and Ed, Gene, and even Bill, reaching up, even Bill Downs himself reached out when I needed assistance in order to help me. See, it wasn't just me. So I was that second or third guy in that dancing that came in here because Bill was out there first, and then Gene and Mike were the number two out there being crazy, and then I came in and said, yeah, I like this craziness. I think I want to kind of join in with it. So understand this. Don't get crazy about it. Don't just know that this is designed for long term, and that's what it builds. Because as you're building the three to get three, you bring in Bob, Ted, and Jane to come in. You help build them. They're your business partners. You're going to have customers that are going to come in, but they're your business partners. You can see their numbers all fold up to you. And as you begin to learn, when you help Bob, Ted, and Jane become managers, you become an executive manager. And when they become executive managers, you move up accordingly. So understand how this works and stay focused on the small bites. Stay focused on helping the individuals, finding those that have the desire to grow, and it's going to go there. Now, I'm going to kind of share with you the power of the value of jumping into this and really taking the time to become a student of this. Now, one of the things I always talk with my people with is when you're coming into a business, especially if you've never been in this industry before, is to learn how to become a student of the student. Be constantly studying on what it takes to become better. And the way to do that, number one, is come to these meetings. Replay these meetings. Go back in your back office. Go hit the news. Take a look. Go back and look at the old trainings back there. There's not a day that goes by that someone, every day, I take a few minutes out of my day, actually more than that, about 30 minutes to an hour, and I go back and I watch a video. I watch the training videos that are back there, or I watch some type of learning thing in order to help me move through the day. You know, like I mentioned before, success leaves clues. Notebook in hand daily, constantly learning, reaching out. I'm always looking ways to improve, and I stay consistent in what I do every day. And here's the thing. As you start working and develop your plan and lay it out, it's all about taking action. So as you are taking action on a day-to-day basis, you're going to learn what works and what doesn't work for you. And again, the importance of reaching up to the leaders up above us. So maybe the person that brought you in, they may not be building. They're in the process of learning too. Well, that's the beauty of our system. You can start reaching up, those of us that are learning. And here's the thing about becoming an expert. And write this down. You want to become an expert. Here's how you become an expert. Know one more thing than the person you're talking to, and you're an expert. And then as they learn that, learn one more thing better to them. And over time, as you keep learning that one more thing, and you learn that one more thing, you're going to see you're just going to be a natural progression where things which you didn't think were possible, all of a sudden become possible for you. And it's incredible how that actually comes into play. So, you take a look at the different levels. You're going to become a member, you become a rep, you become a manager, you become an executive manager, director, executive director. And I'm telling you right now, if you take a look at going through each one of these points, when you hit the director and executive director, that's when you start seeing the backing come in. That's when you're going to start seeing the residual income's going to come in. And that's where you're going to see real stabilization. But it takes effort on your part. Effort's simple. Share the product, share information, get them on calls, get them on training, let them meet your upline, and help them make the small commitments to get to the big commitments. So look at this. The return on this and the investment, if you ever wonder, why am I doing this and crazy? And here's something. Remember to keep the why out in front of you. There's a reason why you want to do this. If I look right up here above my desk, I got a nice little big motorhome that I'm focusing on. One of the reasons why I'm working on this, I don't want to take out my personal income to buy it. So I'm building this business in order to achieve that goal. I have something in mind. That's my why. That's my goal. The other thing is I love this industry. I love working with individuals, and so that drives me as well. I love to see what's going on. But understand, when you come in here, you're making an investment in yourself. You're making an investment in your health. But the return can be there if you stay true. Look at this. When you come in on the first step, you bring in your three people, you're going to make $117 on that first start. You've invested $130. If you do this within your first week, you've got $117 back. You basically got into the business for nothing. Yeah, but you've got a full 100% return if you stay focused. So find your three. Get out there. Talk to your leadership on that. Now, let's say you're in your second month and you're moving through this, and you help those three get their three. You see, you got that rank advancement bonus again. See the progressive. It's 1560 on the unit level. This is why it's important. When you take a look at this 250, see how this starts to pad. Now, we have a lot of people in our group that did this in their first month, in their first few weeks. We have people right now, probably on this call, that have already done this. But here's the thing that's interesting. Let's say it's in your second month. You've now invested $260 in your own being and health, and get your return. You've made $382 at this point. See the reward. And it's all about risk reward. One of the things I try to get people to do is, a lot of times when people come in, they're like a consumer. They're worried about the cost. Start thinking more like a business person. Look at what the investment is. I'm going to invest my time, which has value. I'm going to invest time to learn. And then I'm going to invest some of my money in what I need in order to grow. And what is my return? Well, from a business standpoint, if I spend $260 and make $380, that's not a bad return. Where else can you find a business where you can do this? You get into the third cycle of this. Look at this. All of a sudden, you see how the unit level is starting to grow. And then you take a look and you see how the rank management starts to grow. And look at the investment. You've now invested $390. You've now gotten a return back at $950 in 3 months. Now, again, you can move this as fast or as slow as you want. It doesn't make any difference. You get to the fourth month, again, you start to take a look. Look at how this progressive, now you can begin to see the value unit level. 3, you get 3, you get 3. Look at this. Then you get a rank advancement bonus of $750. If you also take a look at this, there's another $300, $400 here on a minimum basis. When you hit director, remember, this all doubles in that first month. That's an addition on top of this. It's not even in these numbers. But besides that, again, keep this simple. You've invested $520. You've now made over $2,000 in 4 months. As you get to the next level, as you can see, again, you're now at the fourth. Look at this growth. And at this point, if you follow this track, you're going to be the executive manager, or executive director, rather. And then look, you're at $650 and $380. Look at that. So you've invested $650 and made $3,000. Where else can you take a little bit of your time, 10, 12 hours a week, focus time? Key word here. Write down focus time. Following a plan and sticking to your plan. where you can make this kind of money in return. And then you're finally there. Take a look. In your 6th month, if you stay true to this, and now remember, this is just an ideal world. We don't live in an ideal world. Some people will, some people won't. But the bottom line is, if you stay focused and grow, in a perfect world, you would have invested $780 and made back $6,000. That's crazy. And I'm not in a perfect world, but I'm real close to this. All right. Here's the thing. Not everybody starts out of the gate really fast. And some of us, we have a track record, we have experience, and that allows us to move a little faster. But what about those of you who have never been in this industry before, or are first time learning, or maybe, you're just not sure and you're just kind of growing? Well, here's the beauty of this. A lot of people will take a year. If it takes you a year to go through the same cycle, look at this. You will have invested $1,500 into your health and well-being. Well worth it. What is your health worth? This is something you've invested in yourself. So it's money that's well spent no matter what. But let's just say from a pure investment point, you did this. Again, if it took you a year and you made $6,200, you still are a $4,000 profit. In any ledger out there, that's a good deal. You can make investment. All of us would make an investment. If we invested $1,500, can make $6,000 and have a profit of $4,600. We would do that without even thinking twice. Here's an opportunity to actually that you can do it by learning. Let's say it takes you 2 years. Again, you spend $3,000 in your own health. You still, that $6,200 is still there. Remember, this is minimal. So you're still net at $3,000. Still good by anything. I mean, you're doubling your money over a 2-year period. That's excellent returns. And you had growth. Let's say it takes you 3 years, as you can see here. So really the break-even point, if you were investing now, let's say it takes you a full 4 years. And that happens out there. I've been in this industry long enough where I've seen people just keep working and keep working and keep plugging away. And all of a sudden that 3rd, 4th year comes in and bingo. All of a sudden they're an overnight success. Because here's what happens. Those that persist, those that take a look at the long term, and this is why I always like sharing this with individuals, is take and learn what you need to do. But let's say it takes you 4 years. Here's the beauty of it. If you get to the executive director, you're looking at $18,000 to $30,000 a year income or more. Well, that residual income is going to come in month after month. When you start to think about this, that extra 400 a month, that extra $1,000 a month, what does that mean over a 10-year period? That's an extra $180,000 to $300,000. That can take care of a car, a house, time freedom, all kinds of things. This is why it's important to keep your why out. If you know where you're going, if you know where you're headed, if you know the reason why you're doing things, you allow you to do the day-to-day stuff, because there are bumps in the road. This is an industry that has bumps. That's why we have leaders. That's why you reach up. We would love to say that I talk to 10 people and bring 10 people in and they join. It's not the case. But the bottom line is I know where I'm headed. I know where the goals. And when I don't hit a certain goal, I hit the next bump. You'll have that too. So it's real simple. The steps to success are real simple. You write this down. You're investing in your health. The next step is learn. Don't stop learning. Become a student of the industry. Learn to share the products and the information. Make the commitment. And here's where most people fail. And this is take action. And, as much as I get into things, sometimes if I'm not hitting a certain goal or something, it usually comes right to here. I didn't take that little extra step, or I didn't take that little extra action to get me to the next step. And I analyze that and I take responsibility for that. So we cannot guarantee your success, but we can. If you follow steps, you can guarantee your success by staying committed and taking action. And I always let people know in my group, and especially this last week or two when I was calling people, some hit goals, some didn't, what have you, is I want to keep encouraging them because they're taking action on a daily basis. They're taking action on a weekly basis. And maybe they didn't get where they wanted to be, but they learned something along the way that will help them take it to the next step. So if you've been in this company for a while and haven't hit where you want to go back and analyze where you are. Go back and analyze what is it you've been missing. Have you really invested in your health? Have you really become a student of the industry? Have you been out there sharing and bringing people in? The key to this industry, if you don't share and invite people to a meeting, if you don't invite people to look at things, then what you are, and my best analogy and what I used to love to talk about is I'm a cookie company on the back street, and my lights are off, my sign is off, and my doors are closed, and the windows are paper. Who's going to buy cookies from me? If I go out on the main street and put a sign saying the best cookies in the world, have a flashing light, and invite people to come in, maybe give them a free sample. How many of you been to the mall where they go out with free samples? Offer a free sample. What do you think is going to happen to my cookie company? The cookie company on the back street, probably not going to go anywhere. The guy that's out there, he has the most risk. He's out there the most open. He has the way to be most criticized, but he also has the reward that comes in. It's about, and reward's all about it's about, there's risk and benefit. That's why we do things. That's, and that's a business mindset. What are my risks and what are my rewards? And as long as the rewards are greater than the risk, then it's well worth it. And the one thing we've learned with this business model that we have here is the rewards are well outweigh the risk, because whether you take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, you've got the growth on that. So, take a look at this. Again, if you have not made the commitment, get back in the back office of your sponsor and take a look at the product and how to get started. There are packages out there for business builders. There are packages out there to help you get started. And so take a look at the packages out there. If you want to start this on a conservative part-time, you're still unsure, you want to get some product in hand, go ahead and get the basic business package. It's what I call conservative part-time. And you share this with, and of course, this is something you share with people. The beauty of our company is a person can get started. They can become a rep at no cost. They can buy one product and just try it out. That's a commitment. And then as they try it out, then we can talk about how do you want to become a business partner. Because remember, we're looking for business partners. At this stage of the game, we're a young company that's growing rapidly. We are a company that's on a mission. We are a company that has something that people need and want. And we're in a society today where the nutrition that we offer, the benefits in which you learn, is of value. And the best way to share this is by developing other leaders. Remember, that's what's important, because you develop other leaders and they share with people. This gets more and more people on the product. And if not, we do nothing else. We're helping people understand the value of taking responsibilities for their own health and really start thinking about nutrition and maybe stay away from the McDonald's and the cigarettes and all the other things that plague us. For those of you who want to become a part-time builder, here you get in all the products, with a product to product, and there's samples to get out here. Again, this is the middle step that's in here. And so you go ahead and take a look at the middle step. And of course, then there's the share and grow package. For those of you that really want to get serious, and here's the thing, when you make a commitment into yourself, and one of the things to make a commitment, this is a big commitment, is you get started with this package, which is around $580. But look at, it's got plenty of samples for you and your significant others. It also has plenty of samples you can share. And I'm telling you right now, if you can give somebody a sample of Prototype and let them try it, some people will feel benefits, some won't. But if you preface this with the fact that they give them information, when they try something, they'll take a look at information we share. And guess what you share with them? You go back to your webpage. You go back to the videos that back there. You go to yvni.com. There's where they get their information. You bring them to calls. You bring them to the training calls. See, you take people, you get the small commitments, and you build them up. So for those of you that are serious, when you make the commitment to yourself, and we'll share with you a way in future trainings and how you can take this and get this back. We have people in our group right now. We have people that have just come in the last few months who have come in and made these commitments, and they got their money back within the first 30 days or within their first 60 days. If you think about it, if you come in, you spend $560 and you turn around and go back to the chart in your first 6 months or your first 2 months, you've already made $600+. It didn't cost you anything to come into the business. Again, it goes back to risk and value. There's minimum risk because you can always get your money back. There's minimum risk because who can say anything about your health is about everything. So, again, for those of you, this is what we always talk, and here's something for training purposes. when you're talking to people, ask them after they get the information. And this is so powerful. Ask people, hey, are you ready to get started? See, one of the reasons why people don't get started is because they've never been asked. So don't be afraid. Ask people if they're ready. If you don't ask, you don't get. So ask people, are you ready to get started? Are you an A? And you can make it easy for people. It's what I like to do. I says, look, I find people at this point are in 3 categories. They're an A, they're ready to get started. B, they're not sure, they need more information. Or C, this is just not the right time for them right now. Or they're not ready to be in business, but they'd like to have the product. Well, you can ask me, are you an A, B, or C? That will dictate on where they go. If they're an A, get hold of your sponsors, get on the call, learn how to call customer service and work with our customer service people. They will help you out. They'll help you get started. Learn how to reach up to your upline. So, and if they're not sure, if they're not sure, ask them, okay, how can I help you? See, come from the position of help. If it's not right, and if they're not right, so I understand. This is not the right time for you. And then ask them a real quick question. Can I keep sending you a little different information, or can I give you some updates? And 9 times 10 is going to be there. And you start the relationship. I've had many, many people that have said no to me 2, 3, 4 years in a row in different things. I had one woman that I was in contact with for 5 years, and she finally came into one of the companies that I was promoting and got started and actually did very well with it. So take this, think about that guy out there. Sometimes you feel like you're by yourself, but you're not. So you're not the guy out there starting that initial dance, and you're not the first 2 or 3. You become the follower, follow what's been going on, and by becoming a follower, you become a leader. So with that, Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Dwight. Wonderful, wonderful leadership as always. Great content, great information. And folks, we had a jam-packed call, lots of information. And Dwight, I appreciate all your content. As Dwight shared, folks, the more we get comfortable leveraging the resources and the tools that the company provides, the faster you're going to grow. Get comfortable with your website. Get comfortable with the resources and where they are, so that you can point your team and point prospects as they're going through the discovery process, as they're learning about these products. You're able to put people through, and you can stop your screen share if you want, Dwight, because we're still seeing your screen. You want people to recognize that, I don't have to memorize all this product information. Your stop screen shares at, there you go. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Just like Dwight said, you don't have to memorize all this. You can just point people to the content. And so again, this quick start training is here for you. And we want you to plug into it. We want you to leverage it. We want you to use it to teach and train your organization as you're moving forward, and promote to it with your team. And the more you have people participating, the faster you're going to grow. And we're going to build on this. We've got so much. This is a journey, and we talk about it almost every Saturday, that it's about progress, not perfection. It's about progress, not perfection. We want to get a little bit better today than yesterday, a little bit better tomorrow than today. And so let's look at your next week. Between now, this is my close. Between now and by the way, Dwight, I'm still seeing your screen, partner. You need to stop your screen share. There's a red button that says stop screen share. You'll see it. The interesting thing is, we want to make sure, and by the way, we're all getting good at this Zoom technology, so it's a team sport. As you look at next week, what's your goal for the next week? You've got your October goal. What's your goal for the next 7 days? Okay. Do you want to break the zero and bring in your first customer or your first representative with a product order? What's your goal for between now and next Saturday? What would you like to have happen? What's your vision for your V&I business? What do you want to have happen? One of the things I'm going to do is make sure that our entire team is equipped on Zoom. There we go. All right, beautiful. It's because, again, it is about action. Leadership is action and adjustment. Action and adjustment. And you can't be afraid to make mistakes. I'm telling you, I share that. I'm not joking. If you're brand new, I have messed up on this Zoom platform so many times, it's scary. And it's absolutely my responsibility, by the way, that along with Dwight, our other featured leader and speaker, had a couple technical difficulties. That's my responsibility to make sure that the leadership team is plugging into this new technology and comfortable with how to use it. By the way, Dwight, we're still seeing your screen, partner. I'm watching you surf. So anyway, so we're gonna get better every step of the way. We're gonna get better every day, and we want you to embrace that idea of the fact that it's about progress, not perfection. And look at your next week and say, okay, what do I want to achieve in the next week? Do I want to bring on 2 partners? Do I want to move my share and grow pack? What's my goal? And then have the activity plan to support that goal. I'll give you a perfect example. Ken Nasmith, who many of you have gotten to know, he's led a number of our overview presentations. His business is growing extraordinarily fast. He is leading a private Zoom presentation for his team on Monday night at 9 o'clock. So his whole team is promoting to that private Zoom. They're expecting 20 guests Monday night. That's it. That's part of his activity plan for growing his business. So make sure you set a goal for this week, and then you have an activity plan. And that has to get down. That really translates to something as simple as how many new people are you going to share V&I with? How many brand new people are you going to share V&I with? That's the key. And that activity, that exposure activity, is gonna grow your business. Now, folks, next Saturday, I want you to know Mr. TJ Dillingham is going to be our featured speaker and leader. He's got some great content, and because of my challenges of equipping him with the technical aspects of Zoom, because it's a new technology for him, just like it was for me and everybody, he's going to share. He's got some great content. That we're going to put the spotlight on TJ. If you plugged into the October kickoff, and if you haven't, listen to the recording. But I talked about the fact I gave TJ some kudos. TJ broke executive manager in September, broke 3 executive managers, and his total volume from August to September grew 324%, over three times growth from month to month. He's going to be teaching next Saturday. So on behalf of Mr. Dwight Halstead, I'm so excited with what's happening in the V&I family as we spread this mission of health, hope, and abundance. Have a wonderful Saturday, a blessed weekend, and we'll be talking to you Thursday night with our Zoom presentation. But let's set some goals for this upcoming week. And remember, everybody that achieves anything, there's the dream, there's some struggle and some hard work, and there's victory. So that's the way life works. That's the way God's orchestrated most of what he blesses us with. There's the dream, there's the struggle and the work, and there's the victory. So let's embrace, the building of this business one step at a time, one person at a time, sharing and caring with a smile on your face and love in your heart, and let's have a big week. So thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Dwight, for your leadership, and we'll talk soon. God bless. Bye-bye.